What's the last game controller you broke?
The last controller I broke?
Yeah. Not all the way, just a little bit.
It's been a
Or
really...
all the way. Who's that?
It's been a really long time since I... it's David Leibowitz again.
Oh, okay.
It's been a really long time since I've broken a video game controller.
Uh-huh.
I mean, like, the last video game controller I broke was probably... Ooh, that spice.
God damn. This shit sucks.
Mm-hmm. It's nice to know where Tails is, though.
But
Right
we can't go back to him.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah, you're
Remember?
right, it is. Because that's what just happened.
Yeah.
Hand me that. I got it. That old crow. God damn. I don't know. I have some broken controller memories that are very...
If you can't think of the most recent, just lay one on me.
I can't think of the most recent. It had to be...
I can.
I mean, I haven't broken a controller... like, physically with my hands as an angry person since the PlayStation 2 was out.
Okay.
Now, I broke PS2 controllers. There was one like a regular standard Sony one I broke that I just hit so hard that one of the grips split open and the vibrator motor spilled out like intestines. And I was horrified by what I had done. But of the video game damage I've done, two that will always stick with me. I had a Pelican Afterglow PlayStation 2 controller.
I did too.
It was wired, but it was it was neon blue, and then the Pelican like changed colors as you played, you know.
Yep.
I don't remember what I was playing, but I remember smashing that controller against the desk and shattering.
Yeah, I did the exact same thing.
The left-hand foregrip because I smashed it with my dominant right hand.
I can tell you what I was playing when I smashed that.
What were you playing?
Controller, Jack 2.
Okay, because I remember I kicked a hole in the wall playing Jack 3.
God, we're so normal.
Well, it's Jack and Daxter. They're very hard.
They are, except the first.
Yeah.
First is pretty easy.
I kicked a hole in the wall playing one of the bonus jetboard challenges in Jack 3.
I probably shattered that grip doing the... if I had to guess, probably that section where you have to escape that weird... that section where the Crimson Guard, or I guess they're not Crimson in Jack 2, are they? Or are they?
They're in Jack 2, they're the Crimson Guard, and Jack 3, they're the Freedom
It's when they're
League.
chasing you over that, in that, like, village that's over the water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one.
That's the hardest part of Jack 2.
I probably broke my controller there. And again, like Jake, it didn't break, it just shattered the foregrip.
Yeah.
The left-hand grip.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, they were just made of weaker plastic.
Weaker plastic?
You need a potion seller who sells weaker plastic.
Yeah, Jake got it.
But I was horrified when I did it.
What?
I can think of maybe like 2 times in my like growing up teenage life when I still lived with my parents where something happened and I was like, I have to hide the evidence. And that was one time where I shattered my Pelican Afterglow wireless PlayStation 2 controller, and one time where I had an apparently outrageously powerful wet dream. And I woke up and I was like, these boxers.
Thank you for being so honest with me.
I was like, there is no way. These aren't boxers that you would just like grab and throw in the wash. If you touch these even at all, it's clear that they have been...
Oh my god.
They've been like Doritos cum blasted.
Jake boned a friggin' anime girl.
So I, both times I put them in a separate bag and then hid them in a trash bag I found in the basement of trash already ready to go out. Like I was hiding pieces of a murder victim's body.
Oh my god. The last controller I broke...
I'm not embarrassed that people know I come, but I am embarrassed that people know I ever broke PlayStation controllers. Well,
okay.
Yes.
No, thanks for sharing it with me. It was just funny.
I don't think I've ever told that story before. I'm excited for it to
just be out there.
I'm excited for it to be a part of the mythos of the Bogwater boys.
It was very funny, and I am not shaming you.
No.
For your cum. Because, hey, we've all been there.
When you have a wet dream when you're a teenager, you don't know what to do.
No.
Especially, my parents didn't talk to me about sex. My dad's, sex conversation with me came way, way, way too late.
Don't forget that there's a snowman down there that is a mine.
Oh, yeah.
So, run away from
him. And he didn't want to even have it.
Right.
So, he was like, when, your pee-pee gets hard? And I was like, Dad... Yes, I do. Dad, this was last week. But yeah, I was like,
right.
I was like, yeah, dude. My dad's the way he is.
Right.
He's like, well, there's a special place you stick that in a girl, and then it's all good, and then sometimes you have a baby.
I don't think my parents ever talked to me about sex.
Something I will.
Which is something I still don't know about.
Oh, it's still
I would
something
love for you to explain it to me.
Oh, okay. Well, let me.
Just kidding. No, don't. I do.
It's really funny to me though that I remember I waffled halfway through my dad saying explaining sex to me and my dad did his best. He's not cut out for explaining sex to people. Uh-huh. If I ever have a child, I'm going to do a much better job than he did explaining sex. And consent and how your body works and all this stuff you should talk about in the first place. But I will never forget that already halfway through the conversation, I knew it was coming and I waffled and he was like, just stick with me here, bud. Let's get through this. So I can never be mad at him because my dad is just not the type of guy that's prepared to have these conversations. Arguably, maybe you shouldn't have kids if you're not prepared to have those conversations. But he had me, and that poor that makes me. Is that a monkey?
No, I think it's just a flicky.
Oh, wait, it makes more sense that it would be a flicky because
that's what you're collecting.
This is Flicky Island, by the way. The only reason that the only animals Sonic is rescuing are birds is because this is Flicky Island. It's populated almost exclusively by flicky birds. There's those mole guys that were doing some work in the Green Grove Zone.
Yeah, but then they gave up by this one. Oh, get him! Should I do it?
Yeah, I think you should do it. You got further than I did.
Keep telling your sex story, and I'll tell you some more of mine.
All right, I'm into that. Anyway.
God, I hope Jennifer can't hear me.
She can't.
I'm not gonna talk about Jennifer. Don't worry.
No, nobody would ever ask you to do that. You get those clicks on.
That's me gaming.
Alex is gaming.
Okay, fuck. Concentrate. If I don't respond to anything you're saying, it's not because I don't like you.
I get it. But I got through that conversation with my dad. I knew what sex was when I was in the 2nd grade.
Wow.
Because, there were people I knew that it's they were I walked in on my parents, and I knew what a condom was in the 2nd grade. Mm-hmm. I didn't truly understand, the physicality of it. That's unfortunate, but you're going to do fine. But, I knew what a condom was and, the purpose of it in the 2nd grade. So, by the time my parents tried to explain sex to me, I already knew how all that shit worked. I, physically, I wasn't Dad, relax, I know how to fuck a woman.
Right.
At age, 13 or whatever.
And you did, but you just didn't want to brag.
He had the sex talk with me on the way to, go buy, a Yamaha 4-wheeler. It was well before, driving cars was even in my brain. And, good save, though. You are going way better than last time, I will say. That's a good amount of rings to get.
Okay.
Just keep it together.
Oh my god.
But you're still good.
You're still okay.
And now you're more than okay.
I did. Okay. Here you go.
We got one left, right?
Yes.
We can do this. Look at that horrible orangey Mars-ass texture on that Chaos
I
Emerald.
remember when I was in 6th grade, that's when we learned about, like, sex ed and shit like that.
Yeah.
And we learned about wet dreams, or, if you will, nocturnal emission.
I fucking homeschooled most of
you were
6th and
homeschooled.
7th grade, so I missed out on all the priors.
Yeah.
All I ever got of sex ed was the diseases you could get.
Right.
Nobody ever explained anything else.
Anyways.
Luckily, I was saving my very fat Kevin James body for marriage at the time.
After we learned about that in 6th grade, I remember the next... And that was when, you know in Liberty, the coaches were the health teachers.
Yeah, the fucking gym coaches were also the health teachers.
So, when... the next day in gym class... I had there were kids there that were like, hey, so, last night, I had a wet dream.
Yeah, like that.
Bragging about it.
Yeah, that's like a thing. Can you imagine as an adult, like, me being like, you know what I had last night, my man? A fucking wet dream. I had a dream where I had sex with a person I hadn't thought about in 6 years.
And then I came in my pants like an idiot.
And then I came in my pants and my blankets were all fucked up. And then I woke up and I was like, why did I think about having sex with that person that I haven't thought about in 6 years that I didn't even really care for?
And then I was ashamed.
And then I was ashamed. But it's whatever. You probably can't do that with your penis and balls and stuff yet. Your uterus that you might have. I'm still not 100% on who's got what.
It was a weird.
When I was a kid, I obviously thought that girls had penises, but they were inside.
And they are.
And they are. The girls do have penises that are just inside them. And they're way smaller than mine. God damn it! I fucked it up with these birds.
Anyway, about the last time I broke a controller.
Yeah. No, you finished what you were telling me about before.
Well, I don't think I had anything more than the kid that...
told you he had a wet dream?
Yeah, bragged about it.
Like he had fucked Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, you're missing one that I think was hit off you by this Iceman.
Are you sure that looks like 5?
Oh, you're right. You got them all. Okay.
Oh, now I've fucked it about. And what have you?
You got it, though. It's okay. Anyways, the last time I broke a controller, I didn't break it. I just hit it too hard.
Look. Okay.
What? Yes.
Okay. Let's have a conversation about video game temper right now, because I think video game temper, as shameful it can be, is way different than like real life temper.
I agree.
I've broken video game controllers in fits of rage, as a teenager or an adult. But you know what I've never done as a teenager or an adult? Punched a hole in a wall or hit a person.
Yes.
And that's a different deal.
Yeah.
I've never been in like a dispute situation with another person and gotten so mad that I hit something.
Yes.
And I don't know, maybe I'm not giving things enough credit there, but like, you shouldn't break video game controllers because that's ridiculous.
Yes. I agree. Don't touch them.
And it would be okay if I did. I would just need to get more rings.
No. Didn't I just do Tails?
Did you do Tails in this level?
I think that was just now, wasn't it?
Why did you give me the controller?
Because you were playing it. And I just did Tails.
And I did the special stage?
I did the special stage because you said you kept messing it up.
Look, you've been drinking.
Okay, so have you.
I don't think that's true, my man. Now, what I will say on top of that, though, is... Who do you think lives there?
You and me, buddy.
Looks like it looks even like they got a fire going in there, doesn't it?
Maybe. There's some bread in there.
It looks like they're comfortable. Like maybe like they're making like a soup or like a stir fry in there.
Anyways,
as stewards of the great horrible ice river.
Video game temper. I am ashamed of how upset I get at video games.
I'm ashamed of how mad I've ever gotten at any video game, for sure.
It's embarrassing and it's weird. Go back and hit this man. To your left, yeah. I tend to do better about video game...
God damn it!
About video game anger when I'm near friends.
Yeah, when you're around a couple of boys.
But...
How do you do, say, straight up domestically?
Around Jennifer? Badly! I embarrass myself, and that's what I was gonna say. I'm just like... At first, I bet I was fine. But now that I've been living with Jen for so long, I am really shitty.
Well, Jennifer's in it. She doesn't have a...
Exactly. She's trapped.
She's trapped. She doesn't have a choice.
You know, she has to be in me. Which is, of course, a joke, but also... She's probably going to stay with me, so...
I would think she would.
If any of y'all are going to move in on her, I'll kill you.
I would say what I think is really cool about Jennifer is not only do I really like who Jennifer is as a person and what she supports and what she's passionate about.
She's also hot.
I can't say that.
Good choice. You know I would have fucking killed you.
But I think it's so cool that you and Jennifer have that relationship.
Keep saying what you're saying.
There's so much outside this beautiful podcast that Alex and I make. The game grumps that you don't get to see.
Fuck you!
Oh, he's being a Sonic Adventure 2 fucking Sonic Adventure ass on the egg carrier Chaos 6. By the way, Sonic Adventure.
Hang on. I really do want to say the last time I broke a controller. I want to confess.
Yeah, let's get this out.
Last time I hurt a controller, I did not break it, but I did hurt the controller. Was in Yakuza Kiwami during the car chase scene. I did, in fact, hit the controller against the couch, and some of the plastic got a little fucky, but it's fine. It's not broken. I just fucked it up, and I'm sorry.
You don't like the driving in the Yakuza games, yes?
It's not even driving. It's Kiryu's in the back of a car and aiming a gun.
Okay, but aren't there missions where Kiryu's driving a cab in some games?
In 5, I think. But not.
But you haven't gotten to 5 yet because you did. Name the order of Yakuza games you played because I'm actually kind of curious here.
Like in the order I played them.
The order you played them.
1, Kiwami, 2, 3.
1 and then Kiwami. So I basically played 1 remake of 1
yeah.
and then regular 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And then and then after that I'm just gonna do 4, 5, 0, 6.
Okay.
And listen, Kyle, I don't think you watched these.
Why 0 before 6?
Because 0 is a prequel.
0 is a prequel to 1. Why 0 before 6? Why not 4, 5, 6 and then 0?
Because I think that 0 builds on the knowledge that a Yakuza player would have coming from 1 through 5.
So you're playing them from just a strictly chronological release standpoint.
Basically, except for Kiwami, which I only broke my rules for because that was new. Well, when I bought it, I had just finished 1.
Look at the parch. What is this? God, we haven't been looking at the maps in the other levels.
This is like a horrible stone.
We haven't been looking at the maps.
No.
I'm sorry for hitting you. No.
You didn't actually hurt me, so.
I'm just upset because we haven't been looking at the